All right, so wanted to do a brief recap of the week. Fantastic week. I am super pumped that I decided to do this. I drove up from Southwest Florida. Um, I started my drive Thursday morning, and then Thursday night stayed in Franklin, Tennessee, or North Carolina. Got a hotel there that night, which put me like an hour and a half from the Elkmont campground. And then drove in Friday morning. Got here around 11 a.m. Checked in at the ranger station, the check-in point, and then came in, set up camp, and then went out in town and got some food and supplies, kind of thing, and then drove back to the campsite. It was about, by then it was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon or so. Decided to go and do my first hike. The uh, Jake's Creek to Cucumber Gap and back down. I can't remember the river that you come back down. But fantastic little first hike and everything. Day two, I went and did the Alum Cave Trail to Mount LeConte. And if you guys go back and watch that video for day two, uh, great hike. Alum Cave, super cool. The hike from Alum Cave to Mount LeConte kicked my butt, but it was still a great hike. Um, and just remember too, like it's 5 miles there, but if you go 5 miles there, it's 5 miles back. And even though you're going downhill, like 5 miles is still 5 miles, right? So take that into consideration. Uh, Day three, I was gonna take a rest day. It rained all night Saturday night, all night, pouring rain, and then Sunday morning it was still kind of sprinkling, kind of thing. So I figured I would take that as a rest day because I was pretty sore after the hike up to Mount LeConte. I decided to go and drive the Cades Cove Loop, which is an 11-mile loop. You guys will see that video also, or can go and watch that video. But the sun came out and the sun was shining. I got back to camp um, probably around 1:30 or so, and the sun was shining. It was beautiful, and I decided to go do Laurel Falls, which is really close to the Elkmont campground here. So went and did Laurel Falls. Great hike. Wasn't a ton of people there, and again, I think I just kind of came at the right time, in that school's back in. Um, and not as many families out and that kind of stuff. And it was Sunday, so I feel like a lot of people that were here for the week had already left. And So went and did that. Great little quick hike. Um, I think it's 1.2, 1.3 miles in, so like 2.6 round trip. Really good hike. Really nice falls. So that was good. Then came back the next day. So that's day three. Day four, I went and did Charlie's Bunion. Charlie's Bunion, man, once you get out there and you sit out, there's basically like two what I call nubs. There's the first one that you kind of get up, and then there's a second one. Just be careful. I mean, there's no good like flat footing on them at all. So if you want to go out to the second one, just be very slow, be very careful, be very intentional, right? Um, but man, the views from there, like I just loved. It was absolutely fantastic. The hike wasn't too bad. The first mile and a half in is all uphill, and then it's pretty flat and downhill, little uphill, little downhill. And then, like I said, you can go and watch the video too. From the shelter down to Charlie's Bunyan is downhill the whole way, right? Which means when you leave Charlie's Bunyan, that first mile leaving it is all uphill, which kind of sucks because you just had 30, 45, an hour of just amazing views, super highs, and then you've got to walk a mile uphill again. So that was great. And then today, Ramsey's Cascade. It's a 4 mile, it's 8 mile round trip, 4 mile in, 4 mile back. And the 4 mile in is uphill 98% of the way. The first mile and a half, super easy. The next 2.5 miles, you've got probably 4 to 6 uphills that will get you huffing and puffing a little bit, but most of them aren't too bad. The very first one, like literally when you get to the 2.5 mile marker to the Cascades, there's an uphill that goes probably half a mile that gets you huffing and puffing. But the rest of them are maybe, like I said, you know, 1/10 to a quarter mile, and then it kind of levels out to a moderate uphill. So none of it too bad, but just remember 95% of it is uphill. And then on the way back, I felt like it was a pretty tricky descent. Lots of jagged rocks, lots of tree roots that make it pretty difficult. So go slow. Nobody wants to twist an ankle or a knee or anything like that when you're, 3 miles, 2.5 miles out from the trailhead. But man, when you get to the end of that, the payoff with Ramsey Cascades is fantastic. Yeah, just a fantastic trip. I couldn't have picked a better trip at a better time for me, right? Like at a time that I was just kind of burnt out from work, and just really needed to shut off the cell phone, the laptops. All right, so like I was saying, needed to shut off the cell phones, the laptops, and it was absolutely perfect. I also want to say a big shout out to the Hogues, Hiking with Braids, Plug It In Hiking. I probably watched your videos, multiple times, if not even more. They're such a great resource for the Smoky Mountains, and some hiking and camping hacks. Tonight I'm making the one pot meal, the chicken Alfredo. So thanks, Hogues. And again, just the videos that those guys put out. I probably, the month leading up to this trip, I probably watched every one of their hiking videos. It gave me a good sense of what trails I wanted to hike, which ones I didn't, kind of thing. So thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. And if you're coming to the Great Smoky Mountains, please check out their videos too. It's such a good resource to really kind of map out your trip to the Great Smoky Mountains. So super pumped. Last day. We're going to break a lot of this stuff down tonight, get it packed in the car so that in the morning all I have to do is break down the tent, throw it in the car, and take off for the 12 to 13 hour drive back to Fort Myers, Florida. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked any of these videos, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button. Because again, this is my first YouTube videos and my first series, but I plan on doing a lot more. Like, this has kind of inspired me. The people that I just mentioned before, the Hogues, Braids with Hikings, Plug It In Hiking, kind of inspired me to do this. And look, I love adventures, you know, so whether it's scuba diving or cooking or whatever else it is, I plan to have a lot more videos. So please subscribe, come with me on some more adventures, and let's just have a blast exploring this world. All right. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.